Where National Youth Coach Ange Postecoglou joined us. And Ange, thanks for joining us. How do you look back? How do you diagnose what's your diagnosis of why the team failed in India?
Oh, look, I think there's a number of reasons already touched on by John Boltby there, and I guess yourselves in the studio. We really struggled with our conditioning and the conditions of the games. A large number of games in a short space of time, under intense pressure, and we met some quality teams. Look, the result in the quarter-final probably flattered us. We were second best that day on a number of areas, including our fitness and the technique of our individual players. And that's an effect of an accumulative of years of neglect, I think, in this area of competitive matches for players, just to get them conditioned. The Korean players, and they're a good side, and the Japanese are a similar side. I mean, their players are all playing in the K-League or the J-League. Our sum total of A-League games amongst that group I took away, I think it was 5 or 6. Nathan Burns has played 4 games, and Dario Vidosic has probably played 3 90 minutes. So, it's a combination of things that probably I could only scratch the surface at the moment, but obviously it was a disappointing result, but reflective of, I think, what's been happening for a number of years now.
Yeah, okay, Ange, but at the same time, that's the second time that you've failed to qualify now. But I mean, you can't just point to the players. You've got to take responsibility yourself, don't you? I'm
not pointing to the players, Fuzzy. Hold on a sec. Did you just hear what I said? Am I pointing to the players?
You said it's things over a number of years, one of which might be the coach. Yeah. I'm saying that you lost to Laos, and you talked about the quality of Japan, South Korea. Well, we don't dispute that. No one in the country disputes that. You lost to China and to Laos.
Yeah, and this is what annoys me, is that if you're going to be critical of me, and that's fine, I'm in a game where you're going to be critical, get it right. Okay, just do your research, have a look at the results, get it right. You say we lost to Laos. We drew 0-0 with Laos, and have you seen what Laos results were in the main qualifying Asian series? I bet you haven't. You know why?
Mate, look, to be honest, I haven't looked because we're out, so...
Yeah, exactly. You haven't looked. But the thing is, they were disqualified for the use of overage players.
No, I understand that.
You don't care about that. You don't care about that. No, you don't. Because all you want to focus...
I couldn't care more than what I do. What I care at the moment about is your quality, the quality of your coaching. Are you going to take responsibility for your draw with Laos and 2 failures to qualify now? You qualified every time under Oceania. You've had 2 goes now in Asia under AFC, and you failed both times. Do you take responsibility? Or are you just pointing it's the players and it's all in decay and the players aren't good enough to get through against Laos and against China?
So again, you're ignoring what I'm saying. I said there was a lack of competitive environments for the players. I'm not blaming the players.
You said it was a number of reasons going over a number of years. But to answer the question, are you going to take responsibility?
So you're answering your own questions. Are you answering your own questions now? If you're going to ask me a question, let me finish, and I'll be happy to answer your next question. I take full responsibility for it, Fuzzy. I always have in my career. In terms of my coaching quality, I'd love you to come down to a session, mate, because in the 6 years I've been in charge, haven't seen you at a qualifier.
Well, mate, I don't have to go to your sessions. I see your quality on the park. I see your quality on the park, okay? All I'm saying is you're paid, you're a professional coach who's paid to get us through in 2 qualifiers. You didn't do it. And you're saying that you take responsibility, you're not just going to point to the players and the conditions and everything else. No, I take full responsibility. And you're a professional media analyst. Well, you didn't say that at the start of the show. You pointed to the players, you said the players aren't good enough and they're not playing enough.
So as a professional media analyst, and you are very passionate about it, which I commend you on, why don't you go to the effort of making sure your research is right? Why don't you go to the effort of maybe coming to a training session instead of just sitting at a million miles away and making assumptions? You're not paid to win
training sessions, Ange. You're not paid to win training sessions. You're paid to qualify these teams through AFC. That's when I watch the games. I watched them against China, they were rubbish. Against South Korea, I agree with you 100%.
Oh, they were rubbish.
They should have beat us 8-1. Right? It wasn't... Okay, let me ask you this. Are you saying to me that the performances of your team in this qualification series over the course of the games was good enough?
No.
Well...
And I take responsibility for that. So So what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Well, I think you should put your hand up and walk out because you're paid to qualify the team and you haven't done it twice now.
that's probably says more about you than it does about me,
well,
Craig,
it says a lot about our football.
I don't sit in glass houses, mate. I'm out there.
Well, mate, listen, what I'm saying is, if I didn't qualify the team twice like you, I'd put my hand up and I'd walk out, because that would happen in most other countries.
Well,
I don't have to be there. I watched it. I've watched the games. I saw you against South Korea. I saw you against China. What do you want me to say?
Okay.
What, that I didn't watch a training session, I mean, your training sessions are brilliant, and if I came to watch it, you'd stay in a job? Is that what you're telling me or not?
No, what I'm telling you is that if you really want to do a real critical analysis of what I do, why don't you bother to actually go to a tournament? Anyway, look,
well, I'd love to come to the tournament, but I see it on the TV. I don't have to be there. Your results are standing. Your results tell everything, Ange.
Okay, all right. So, Fozzie, your assumption is that I should resign, is that right?
I think you are paid to qualify the team, then when you get there, you should get... Yeah, I think you should put your hand up and say, in the last two qualification campaigns, I've failed and I'm paid to do it. That's what you're paid for,
so you're saying I should resign. So you're saying I should resign.
I think
that's
you should,
your opinion, is that right?
That's my opinion.
Okay, fine. So you've stated your opinion. Let's move on.
What do you ask?
So, is there any other questions, or is that it? Is that your whole medical analysis of it?
Well, are you going to?
Sorry?
Are you going to resign then? That's the next question.
No, of course I'm not going to resign. I always put my future in the people who make those decisions. Now, if the people who I put a lot more credibility in than your assumption or your analysis...
Fine. I'm just going on your results, right? I'm not attacking you personally.
I know you are. Yes, well... Okay, you're not attacking me personally. That's great. I feel much better because you're a really close mate. I don't care what you think of me personally,
We're not on here to be mates. What are you talking about? I'm not here to be your friend. I'm saying you're paid to get results to a certain degree and you didn't get them. All right? And so you started this show by pointing to the players that they're not good enough, and we'll rerun the tape if you want. It wasn't just that they're not playing competitive football. You talked about their technical quality.
Yep.
Well, it might wash against South Korea. It doesn't wash against China, 87th in the world, who then lost to Jordan, ranked 99th in the world. Well, what's the technical quality of the Chinese and the Jordanians?
Well, what's your point then, that our technical quality was good enough, was it? Is that
good enough to qualify, good enough to beat China, who should never beat us at any level of the game. And if you lost to China, you should put your hand up and say, that is not good enough. And not point to the players. Look.
Okay, well... All right, keep going.
After Peru, you said that the players aren't being taught to play a back four. Fine. Right? Then after your draw to Laos, right, you said that the Laos players don't go to school and therefore that's the secret to their success. And after this one, you've just pointed to the players. I mean, my point was, you're paid to qualify the team.
Why do you keep saying I'm pointing to the players? You're obviously not listening to me, mate. So if you're going to keep on... Look, and to be honest, what's the point of this interview? What's the point of this interview? Les, I mean...
let me ask you...
Craig Foster doesn't think... All right, Craig Foster thinks I should resign.
Well, go.
I'm not resigning. I'm going to leave that decision...
You have a minute and tell us what...
Ange, let me ask you this.
Can I answer it?
When you announced the squad before the tournament, you were very confident about the quality of this team, the preparation that you've had. You took the team to South America. You didn't mention the fact at the time that only 8 players in the squad are playing competitive football, which we know is the case. So if you were confident with the team, if you thought that this was a good squad, then I guess the question has to be asked, what went wrong over there?
Well, as I said, Les, in my opinion of being over there and working with this team, we have got a good squad. Unfortunately, the lack of quality competitive games for the players leading into the tournament didn't help us, and we struggled in a number of areas because of that. Now, look, it's quite obvious what's happening here. You don't think you guys think I should resign. I'm saying I'm leaving that decision to people who'll make it. Now, if they come to the same conclusion as Craig Foster, the eminent expert in the studio, great. I walk away. Everyone's happy. You're happy. Everyone's happy, right? I'll move on with my coaching career. But I'm not going to sit here and being criticised and people telling me I should resign when I've worked damn hard over the last 5 or 6 years to do as best as I can with the conditions that I've had. Hold on a sec, because I can hear somebody about to butt in again, and I'm not. Matt, oh, you're enjoying it, are you? So you're being smart as well. Well, that's the problem, though, isn't it? That you sit there and you think, well, all right, let's get rid of Ange Postecoglou. Let's bring in the technical director that you're suggesting. If he came in, what would he say? Would he say that the current conditions in which we're developing young players is good or not? Just a simple yes or no. Just
he
a
would
simple
say
yes or no.
He would say it's good enough.
Sorry?
It's good enough to beat Laos, and it's good enough to beat China.
Oh, okay.
He would say it needs serious improvement, like we all say.
Okay.
So we agree with you. Okay, what's your point?
No, you don't. No.
I just agreed with you.
There's no real point.
Ange, I think you need to accept the point that, I mean, there are a lot of elements that go into failing in a World Cup, failing in a World Cup qualifier, including the fact that maybe our kids are not being brought up right, and we did discuss that a lot on this program. But ultimately, you've been in charge, I think, since 1999, and there hasn't been. We've qualified through Oceania for the various World Cups. Didn't do much once we got there, and now we're in Asia, which is stronger than Oceania, obviously, and we can't qualify in two different tournaments. So there has to be question marks over the coaching, doesn't there?
That's fine.
Ordinarily, there has to be.
And I welcome the scrutiny. Anyone, and like I said, if the decision is made that I'm not the right person for the job, I'll walk away. But I'm not going to sit here and take it from people who weren't even there telling me that I can't coach or I'm not a good coach because of one thing, and that is a result. Now, Les, you say that our results haven't been great. Now, the last time we reached the semi-final of the World Youth Cup was a long, long time ago. I didn't take over the year after we reached the semi-final. In the two preceding Under-20 World Cups before I took over, in '97 and '99, I actually improved the results once we got to 2001 and 2003. Now, look, I'm not saying here that everything's great. I'm saying that there needs to be a review. I'll welcome the scrutiny. Welcome the scrutiny of my coaching. No problem. I'll welcome any scrutiny, provided it's informed, it's not ignorant, and it's not agenda-based. And you know, the actual garbage I've had to put up today for coming onto your program is, I just think, A, disrespectful to me when you can't even get the facts right, and B, isn't going to change my mind about what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that in the hands of people who are informed. And like I said, if they come to the same conclusion as our expert in the office there, then great. Then I move on with my coaching career. If not, I hope I can contribute as I have in the past. And I'm sure with the review, the way it's going, and the emphasis that's now being put on youth development, not on individuals, but actual youth development, I think that things will improve. And they won't improve quickly, because it can't in that sort of area, but over the next few years I'm sure that things will, not only our results will improve, but more importantly the technical ability and the calibre of players we're producing will improve.
All right, Ange, thanks for having the good grace to come on the program. Whatever you do, we wish you the very best of luck.
Thanks very much, Les.
Well, after the break, Craig joins Andrew Orsatti and Branko Kulina for a look at the local game, including the 3 games that have been played in round 12 of the A-League so far this weekend. This is a match between two sides enjoying good recent form.
With the economy growing and businesses expanding, it's a great time to think about your career. What qualifications or experience